Hi, my name is Audrey Wilson, and I am in the Abnormal Psychology D91 Spring 2009 class. The disorder I chose to research is depression. Depression is characterized by uncontrollable sadness, paralysis of will, thoughts of suicide, and many more. Since 1303, early researchers refer to this disorder as melancholia. The book I chose as my case study is called Darkness Visible by William Styron, written in 1990. William writes this book and describes the journey he is taking through the development of depression. For William, his days consist of waking up and feeling great, but by the end of the day he would feel exhausted and worthless. He hated it when friends would say that you'll pull through it or you'll get better, it's just you're having the blues, because really it's nothing you can get rid of overnight. William was 60 when he developed his unipolar form. His daily activities became a challenge, and he would get exhausted and feel anxiety at certain events. According to William, 1 in 10 Americans can get this disorder. Textbooks say that the median age for the onset is 34 and is dropping with each generation. In almost all countries, women are at least twice as likely as men to have severe unipolar depression. Since William was an author, he knew a lot about depression from the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of the American Psychiatric Association. He had a lot of knowledge in medicine too, so he was really surprised that he was so far into depression when it can actually be as severe as diabetes or even cancer. Like many people throughout the world that have depression, William was denying it for most of his life because he didn't want to believe that he could actually be suffering from it himself. When he went to Paris to accept an award for one of his novels, he decided it was the biggest turning point of his depression, because now was when he realized that he does in fact have depression and that it could actually have a fatal outcome. William used his award money to get home the next day because he couldn't stand being there any longer. His mind was just going haywire, basically. So he left the next day to get back home and see a psychiatrist. When William was younger, he really never knew that this could actually happen to him, nor could anyone in their lives, but it was just really surprising for him. William seemed to blame the depression on the fact that his body was now rejecting the alcohol that he had been consuming for 40 or more years. He thought it was keeping him sane. His depressive mood started from there, and it just got worse over the months. It was affecting his life very drastically. He was so overcome with feelings of loneliness, hopelessness, and thoughts of suicide that it was hard to find the light and just snap out of it. There are many symptoms of depression. Sufferers can feel miserable, they can have a lack of drive, they're less productive, have negative views of themselves, and they can also have physical symptoms like general pain, and many more. Depression is characterized by 1 or more depressive episodes that lasts at least 2 weeks with a depressed mood or loss of interest, accompanied by at least 4 additional symptoms of depression. According to William, depression is caused by neurotransmitters in the brain that make a depletion of the chemicals norepinephrine and serotonin and the increased hormone cortisol. Textbooks also say that there are genetic and biochemical factors that contribute to the development of depression. Family pedigree, twin adoption, and molecular biology gene studies suggest that some people inherit a predisposition to unipolar depression. William expected his trip to Paris to be leisurely, and found that he was upset when he knew that his mental state found out that his mental state was so far gone that if he knew that before his trip, he would have decided not to go and just stayed home. While he was in Paris, had to he had to join activities with with other people there, and one event was that he had to go to the Picasso Museum, where he was supposed to be filmed looking at different exhibits, and he would just walk around with his wife, Rose. He found that this event was very difficult because he had to deal with heavy traffic, and he had a very late arrival to the museum, and it just left his mind in a state of panic and dislocation. William knew many authors like himself that were dealing with the severe depression like he was. One of his idol literary figures, Albert Camus, was one of his favorite authors, and William even set the tone for one of his novels from the view of